stir. Imagine walking into a room wearing a simple shirt, slightly worn sneakers, and maybe a watch that costs less than a dinner at a restaurant. Nothing flashy, nothing expensive. There is no luxury car parked outside with your name on it, no designer logos covering your clothes, nothing about you that immediately signals wealth. To most people in that room, you look completely ordinary. Maybe even a little poor. But here's the strange possibility. You might actually be the richest person there. At first, this sounds backwards, almost ridiculous. From childhood, we are taught the opposite idea. We are told that wealth should be visible. That if someone is successful, they should look successful. Expensive cars, luxury watches, designer clothing, giant houses, exclusive vacations. These things have become the visual language of success. Society has conditioned us to believe that if someone is rich, the evidence should be obvious. But when you start paying attention to the real world, something strange appears. Many of the wealthiest people do not follow this rule at all. In fact, they often do the exact opposite. Some of the richest individuals dress extremely simply. They drive normal cars. They live surprisingly modest lifestyles. They avoid showing their wealth in public whenever possible. And the surprising part is that they are not doing this because they cannot afford luxury. They absolutely can. They simply choose not to. Once you start noticing this pattern, it becomes impossible to ignore. Spies. Why do some strive so hard to look wealthy, while others choose to stay quiet? True security is found in modesty, not in the weight of a heavy, borrowed crown. Building real value happens in silence, far away from the spotlight's exhausting glare. Chasing appearance is a tiring game that often leaves you with nothing but a hollow shell. The contrast between projection and reality reveals where the true strength lies. In the end, peace of mind is the greatest treasure that any of us can ever truly own. To understand this strange behavior, we need to step backward through time, long before social media, before luxury branding dominated culture, and even before modern financial systems existed. Because the logic behind this strategy is much older than people think. For most of human history, displaying wealth publicly was dangerous. In ancient societies and kingdoms, wealth attracted attention, and attention often meant trouble. If a king believed you had accumulated too much wealth, your fortune could be taken instantly. Sometimes, it happened through heavy taxation. Other times it happened through confiscation, punishment, or political pressure. In the worst cases, visible wealth made people targets for violence. Merchants traveling through medieval Europe learned this lesson quickly. Wealthy traders moving goods across cities often dressed in simple clothing during their journeys. They did this deliberately. It was not because they could not afford better clothes, but because appearing wealthy made them immediate targets for thieves and bandits who waited along trade routes. If someone looked rich, criminals assumed they were carrying money. The more wealth you appeared to have, the greater the risk. In certain periods of ancient China, wealthy families adopted a similar strategy. Instead of building extravagant homes and publicly displaying their fortune, they lived quietly behind modest appearances.